Hey guys, and welcome back to Artflow channel. This is part number 8 within our freelance course about Adobe Illustrator. And today we're going to talk about how to create a logo based on a sketch in this software. This video is going to be kind of a checkpoint for you guys because you already know a lot of different tools, but I want to make sure that you know how to combine all those tools together because it might be a bit overwhelming for you, and I know that you're facing some difficulties along the way. And my goal in this couple of videos about this logotype is to make sure that you know how to solve those problems and how to combine different tools. So without further ado, let's get started. At the beginning, let's discuss where you can find this character, this logotype. This logotype is going to be a Mascot based logotype. It means that it's all about character. It's going to have some shadows, some details. It's not a typical minimalistic logo, it's a Mascot logo. So if you want to use the same logo as I'm using right now, you can go ahead to description of this video or down to the comments below this video, and you'll see a link to Google Drive where you can download this one. You'll have this image of bear, and you'll have a small palette. We'll adjust it along the way probably, but for now it's our starting point because we'll have a bear out of brown shades, and we'll have some blue parts on him as well. So to start with this one, you need to make sure that you have a copy of your bear on the left side just to make it easier for you. So right now I'm going to hold Alt on my keyboard and simply dragging it to the left side so I can make a copy with my V, with my black arrow selection tool. I'm going to turn on my hotkeys as well as my selection of a cursor so you can follow what I'm doing right now on the screen. Perfect, and I hope it's going to make your life easier. Now let's lock this image right now on the screen because it's going to be difficult for us to draw on top of the image because it's going to be selected all the time, so we need to make sure that everything is locked over here. And so I'm just selecting those images and hitting Ctrl 2 or Command 2 on Mac to lock them in. If you don't know how to use hotkeys or you don't want to use them, you can go to layers, simply open this section and hit over here to the lock key, and that way your layer is going to be locked. Now, what we are going to do with this logo, you need to understand that we need to start with something big. Whenever you're trying to trace a logo, when you have a sketch, you want to make sure that this logotype is going to be simple, easy to work with, and you don't know where to start from head, from eyes, from any part of the character. You need to remember that it is easier to start from the bigger part, and currently we have a bear, a body of the bear, so we're going to start with this one. To start tracing this image, we'll need to use a pen tool, and there is no tool better than pen tool for complex vector shapes. That's probably the best tool that you'll ever need. And if you don't know how to use it, please check this or this link, I don't know where it's going to appear, so simply go to this video. We have a huge guide about pen tool, how to work with this tool, how to practice, and then come back to this video because otherwise you'll not be able to work efficiently. Now I'm gonna select P on my keyboard. Right now my pen tool is selected. I'm going to disable fill color and I'm going to enable stroke color. Usually I'm using something bright so I can see a distinctive color on top of my sketch, on top of my drawing. So it could be a red, for example, or any color you want. Doesn't matter for now. And now let's start. We have a pen tool, we have a stroke, everything is set up, and now I'm just gonna start and drawing around the bear over here. Clicking left mouse button and simply drawing on top of this bear. Just a small hint for you guys, if you don't know how to work with the pen tool, over here I'm simply holding left mouse button, then I'm releasing left mouse button, then I'm clicking Alt and clicking with left mouse button at the end of the point over here, and as you can see my additional control handle is going away by this section, so I can proceed without any problems. Without this simple trick, you'll have this weird intersection, so it's easier always to simply release left mouse button, then hold Alt on your keyboard, click with left mouse button, and then proceed. And that way you'll remove this handle so you can proceed. As you can see over here, we have the first part where we're not sure how to trace our bear, because we have his working robe and we have his body. So you need to ignore his working robe for now, and we'll go in the way that his body is following. So right now it's going to be that way, because we'll cover his body with the robe on top of it, and for now we need to ignore anything that is on top of his body. I'm going to leave it over here. As you can see, we have variety of width over here in terms of our stroke. We'll deal with this later. For now we will leave it as it is right now with the simple 1 pt stroke weight. And we'll cover this issue later, how you can adjust width of the stroke. Now, as you can see, we finished our first step. Our first step is drawing this huge line, because the next step is the head. And head is going to be a separate layer, separate object, because it's going to have a different color. And right now we will simply go from the left part to the right part over here with a straight line, and we'll continue drawing line across the body. So we'll cover this body and we'll close it over here. We'll go along the way of his body and we'll close our pen selection over here. We'll ignore the head because the head is going to be placed on top of the body, and we don't need to worry about that for now. Now I'm simply selecting my previous line, hitting P on my keyboard, clicking with left mouse button at the last point over here. And now let's make it a bit higher, because right now if I'm going to make a straight line over here, as you can see, this part of the body is going to be hidden, so I need to make it a bit higher, like so. And yeah, it's going to work just fine. Now I'm simply proceeding with this selection. Now you need to understand, if your character is fully symmetric, it means that your left part and right part are the same. You can skip this part, you can simply draw half of a character, then duplicate it, flip it to the opposite side, and then you can combine them together. But our character is different, it has raised one hand, so we need to make sure that everything is the same as on the sketch. So right now I'm simply proceeding without any comments for now. Perfect. Now as you can see, we're at the point of the glove, and we can simply skip this one because we will have this glove as a different color, as a separate object. So for now I'm simply going from the right side to the left side over here, and I'll close this path. Perfect. Now you'll have a question: why it's placed like this? Why wouldn't have a part of the hand? Why it's all so weird, and what we're going to do with this later on. And I want to make sure that you understand how it works. We will place a circle behind and in front of this bear, so at the end our logotype is going to be circle based. So as you can see, we will have something like this, more or less. We'll adjust it along the way. So we'll have a part of a bear hidden in this circle, and a part of a bear is going to be outside of this circle, kind of breaking out third wall and that kind of thing. So for now, simply ignore the fact that we don't have a part of a hand of this bear, because the idea is to have this bear inside the circle with one hand outside of the circle. So guys, as you can see, right now we have fully closed and covered body, as so. And at the end we'll simply change color of this shape to something like this, some kind of brownish color. And on top of this brown color we'll have a hand, we'll have a robe, we'll have a head. And let's continue drawing some other shapes. Right now we'll proceed with head. As you can see, the head is fully symmetrical, so it's going to be a perfect spot for me to showcase how you can duplicate a part of the image, reflect it to the other side, and how you can combine them together, because it's kind of a common situation that you'll face a lot in the workflow, so I need to make sure that you know how to work with this one. For now we have this body. I need to lock this layer because it's going to affect our future process, so I'm simply hitting Ctrl 2 on my keyboard, and right now this one is locked. Also, what I like to do is to change color of this red, because we'll have a separate shape, and I like to keep separate shapes with the separate colors so I can understand where the intersections are and how to work with them along the way. So I simply changing this red to orange, for example. Perfect. Now we will start from the middle, because this is going to be our first point and the top part is going to be our last point. Let's proceed. And perfect. Right now we have a problem because we don't know where we need to place our last point. Like there is no way how we can tell I need to place it over here or there. So it's easier for me to drag a ruler, a guide, so I can place a vertical line over here, and then I can simply click with left mouse button on the place where I want to leave it. So for now I'm calling rulers. You need to press Command R or Control R on your keyboard. In that way you can see rulers. Otherwise you can go to Window and Rulers over here. That's the combination of keys. Now I'm just going to drag it over from the left side to the middle, and I need to hover my mouse right over here where my first initial point is at. Okay, now we have our first guide, and this guide is placed for us so we can locate the end point of our selection. If you don't see this guide for some reason, you need to go to Window, Guides, and over here you'll see Show Guides. That's the hotkey. Now I need to select this part of head, hit P on my keyboard, and proceed. Perfect. Now we almost have everything ready, but we need to close our path. To make it work, I need to press and hold Alt on my keyboard, click with left mouse button at the last anchor point, and now close the path. So I'm going from this point to the first point. You can see 0 near the icon of a pen tool, click, and perfect. So ideally you'll have shape like this. Perfect. Now the next step I suggest you to do is select the head and now press Shift X on your keyboard. And that way you'll swap colors from stroke to fill. It's the same as hitting this icon. And I want to have this head filled with the color. It's going to make everything easier for us, so please just make this step. Now we need to select this head. Simply click with a black arrow on top of this head. Now hit O on your keyboard. O is this tool named Reflect tool, and this tool allows you to place original point based on which your image is going to be reflected, and we want to have this original point over here. So I'm holding Alt on my keyboard and clicking with left mouse button. As you can see, we have this pop-up with the reflect settings. You need to make sure that everything is set the same as my panel, so vertical axis, and everything should be fine. Now press copy. Now we have a copied object. As you can see, we have right part, left part, and we need to combine them together. To make it work, simply select both sections, both parts. And now you need to go to Pathfinder section and click Unite. Also, you can find this section over here, Window and Pathfinder, this icon. Click with left mouse button, and what it does, it actually combines everything together. So right now, instead of two separate sections, you have one single shape. As well as this operation, you can go a bit in other way. So I simply hit Command Z to go back. You can select two pieces like so, and then you need to hit Shift M on your keyboard. So you'll select Shape Builder tool, and now simply drag with your left mouse button from the left part to the right part. It's going to do the same job for you. You simply combine two parts together. Right now, as you can see, we have a full closed section. It's the same operation as going to Pathfinder and clicking Unite, so you can use either of those options. They're the same in this scenario. So yeah, we'll leave it like this. Now we have a fully closed shape. It's fully symmetrical. It's totally fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to click this head, and you need to press Shift X one more time. In that way, you'll swap colors from fill to stroke one more time, and now we are ready to go. You need to lock this layer as well. So I'm simply selecting this object and hitting Ctrl 2, and everything is fine. And now you need to finalize every other part that we have over here. The rope, glove, and cup of coffee, hat. So basically everything that you can see needs to be traced in that way. Let's go. Now you might be wondering what you need to do with those folds over here, over there. Simply skip them. Simply outline everything that is a huge part, like this hand, and simply ignore those folds for now, because we're going to draw them later on. For now, skip it. In terms of fingers, so there are a couple of ways how you can draw them. The first way is the way that I'm drawing them right now, and the second way is by ignoring those fingers. So you need to draw only outline, and then you'll draw the inner part. We'll see how it goes along the way. We always can change that in the future. So for now, I draw them like this. You can do it the same way, and after we finish everything else, we can go back and fine-tune our hand. Now, in terms of this cup of coffee, there are a couple of things that you need to know. This is quite a complex shape, and it's complex because it's going to have a variety of colors. For example, this top part of the lid is going to be brighter, then we'll have a different color for this section, then we'll have a third color for this one. And so far you need to understand how to draw them in the way that you can adjust color of those sections individually. We'll start with this section because this section is quite easy. You need to simply draw it like so. First curve, second curve, go to the middle, make sure everything is straight, close to this one, everything is fine, and your first section is ready. As you can see, this fold we need to ignore it because we're going to add it later. For now, skip it, and we need to draw something over here. As you can tell, this one is an oval, so we can go to L on our keyboard to select ellipse, and now we need to draw an ellipse. It can overlap with the previous shape, that's not a problem, it's going to be totally fine for us. I'm holding Alt on my keyboard to adjust it in both ways, in both directions. Now, I need to adjust it in a way so it matches the ending of those anchor points of our previous shape. To make this work easier for me, I need to adjust this top part. Right now, as you can see, this line is totally fine. Now we need to press A on our keyboard, direct selection. We need to find this left anchor, and we need to drop it down right over here. Then you can adjust handle to the top part. And as you can see, we have an overlapping over here from our previous shape to our new shape. To make it more clear to you, I'm going to change color for this part to something darker. and we have our new shape and previous shape. The same we need to do with this section. As you can see, everything is magnetically aligned to each other, and if you're wondering how to make it work, you need to go to Window. Please make sure that smart guides are on, and make sure that everything else is set the same way as it's set on my computer. So you need to turn off snap to grid to pixel, and it's going to work just fine. Now, in terms of this section needs to go lower, and that's it. So how it's going to work at the end, let me show you over here. Let me drag it over. Oh, I need to. Okay. Right now we have the following situation. We have our initial base. This one is going to be a cup itself. For example, let it be light blue. This one is going to be a side of our lid, so I'm simply changing color. And this one is going to be a top part of our lid, changing color. And I need to make sure that this circle is dropped down underneath this side section. So I can hit Ctrl and open bracket keys on my keyboard, and that's it. Right now it's covered. We have this section and it's covered by this side section. We're going to add some additional parts on top of this structure, but the main goal, as you can see, is simply overlaying objects one on top of other to make sure everything looks fine. At the end, we always can adjust shape, because as you can see, this part is not so great as this part. We always can adjust this section. We can drop down handle of our top lid, and so far so on. You understand how to work with this one. Let's get back to the lid itself. For this part, it's easier to start with an oval, like so, and then we can attach to this ellipse our side section. Hit P on my keyboard, change it to something lighter one more time, and now I can swap colors. Fill to stroke, Shift X. That's it. As you can see, this ellipse is not long enough, so I need to extend it. Now I can proceed. This transition is not so great, so I need to adjust it. Shift C on my keyboard is going to allow me to select my anchor point tool, and now I can adjust this anchor. I can re-extend it, make sure that everything is fine. Also, as you can see, this curve is there not because of this point itself, it's because of this handle, because it's too far. So I need to press A on my keyboard and adjust this handle to the left part. That's it. Now we need to close this side part of the lid. Hit B and close this shape. This top part should be on top of our lid, so simply sending it forward in the layers panel to make sure that it's going to the very top part of our layers. Reminder, you need to press Ctrl, Shift and closing bracket key over here. Now, basically that's it. We have our cup, we have our glove. Now we need to finalize robe. Perfect. This inner pocket is going to be a separate object, so we need to make sure it's a different color. I'm going to start from the bottom, and I'm gonna draw it like this. And the same goes for this cloth. We need to have it in a different color. Nice. As you can see, the bottom part is fully ready. Now we need to figure out this hat and his eyes, nose, and mouth as well. We'll start with the hat. As you can see, it has two parts, the bottom part and the top part, so we'll have it in two different colors. That's our bottom layer. Shift C to adjust curve over here. And now let's draw the top part. I'm gonna select brighter green color. And right here, as you can see, we have this depth effect. So to make it work, it's better to have a first outline within this initial white area, and then we'll draw on top of this area our shadow at the end of our process. So for now, simply outline this intersection, and then all the shadows, all the foldings, all the light effects, we'll draw it later. For now, we need only base layers to start with. And at the end of this video, you'll have something like this. I unlocked all the layers that I have in my project right now, so I can duplicate it to the left side. No, without this one. I move it to the left side, and as you can see, we have pretty much finalized our initial shapes. Now let's talk about what we'll cover in the next video and why it's going to be in the next video, not in this one. We'll cover how to draw eyes, nose, mouth, how to draw basically all the shapes that we have over here, because they require understanding how to work with the pen tool, with the width tool, how to adjust stroke in different points, and I think that it's going to be easier for you to discover those topics in the next video. So for now, we'll summarize everything that we've done. We have basically all the initial shapes that we need, and in the next video, we'll cover everything else. I want to say thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to Artflow channel, and stick to online course, because we're gonna have a lot more videos like this. See you in the next one. Bye.